So I have here my Google Drive open, and we've been looking at 0 to creating flowcharts. Let's create a new drawing. That's what we want. And it's going to say that it's going to share it. I'm going to delete it out of here, though. Um, so what we're going to have to do is, and this is just your practice, so you don't need to title this one for now. I'm going to have to toggle back and forth. So let me go to that PowerPoint. And for me, it's easier if I have this showing. This parts of a flowchart, slide number 3. I know that if I want to create a flowchart for that shows how to pour a glass of milk, probably should take a look at a couple of these. Does the size of the glass matter? Does it matter if the person is going to be standing when finished? Do you want the end to come when the milk is poured or put away, or with the glass washed? So you can go as detailed with this as you want. We don't need to go nuts on this thing. So I'm going to go over to here, and the first thing I need to do is insert a shape. And looks like we're having connection problems. So we got our drawing open here. First thing you probably want to do is create a text box and type out what it is you want to do. So let's go back again to this. Back to the instructions. Says create a flowchart that shows how to pour a glass of milk. So how to pour a glass of milk. The first thing that I would want to do is check to see if glass is full. And if yes, now I'll put a sequence here. If yes, then we're pretty much done. And we need to always have a start. If no, then and you can go back as far as you want with the milk carton. You can say buy a gallon of milk from the store. You could put put your shoes on to get out to the car. We're not going to go that crazy with it. I'm just going to assume that I have the carton in front of me. So I'm going to say open milk carton. And we're already assuming that we have a glass in front of us if we're checking to see if it's full. So we don't have to get the glass in my situation here. Then we're going to pour the milk, and then we're going to close milk carton. And then at that point we'll have it loop back up to here. So I'm going to go to insert and shapes, and if you look down here, all of these are actually flowchart processes, and it'll tell you if you hover. It says flowchart process. This is the start stop, and that's why it's called an alternative process. This is the decision, and then I believe this was display. There it is, display. Now we don't really have anything to display, so we're not going to use that one, but we do have to have a start. So let me bring this here, and I just have created, if I start typing, it will put it right in there. So that's pretty convenient. Let's shrink that up just a little bit. Now I'm going to insert a, let's see, I started with the decision, so I'm going to insert this decision. And then I'll start typing. Is glass full of milk? And then we'll insert an arrow. So the arrows are over here on the line. We can do an arrow. So I need to draw an arrow to that, and that did not work. I gotta click and drag, sorry, there we go. And then I'm gonna have a yes and a no. So now you can do it with these arrows and then text boxes over them, or you can do it with an arrow shape like this and then just type yes. And I like to do the arrow shapes when I'm making decisions, the yes no decisions, because it's just easier to type in there. No. So let me scroll down a little bit. Apparently I can't. Should be able to drag this a little bit bigger. So is a glass full of milk? If yes, then we're going to make the alternate process. If it is, then we stop. If it's not, so now let me go down to this other one. Then we have a process. If it's not, then it looks like we say open milk carton. And then I'm going to draw an arrow over this way. We'll insert another one of those. For the milk, do another arrow. And if you hold the shift key down as you're dragging the arrow, you can see it snaps. So you can get a straight arrow there. Not that it matters that much, but for you perfectionists, you'll probably like that. And oh yeah, look at that, it snaps even that size too. And then we can do close milk carton. There we go. And then at that point, then we can stop because the milk is there. Now we could also have this thing loop back to is glass full of milk, and actually I think I am going to do that. I like that idea better. So let's get rid of that. Let me grab the pointer here, take this one, oops, and I'm going to hit the delete key to delete that. And after close the milk carton, I'm going to jump back to is the glass full. Now this isn't a very pretty way to do it. Usually with flowcharts you're going to see straight lines. So a nice pretty way to do this would be having it go down, over, and as long as I don't change the process, it stays in an arrow. That is probably a better way to do it. Then we ask if the glass is full. If it is, then we stop. So this is an example of how you would do a flowchart. And on the next assignment, this is going to be something that you'll do. It is very helpful if you do the text first, and then you can kind of shrink this thing up. If you, whoopsies, if you don't really want to have it super large in there, just enough that you can see it, kind of scoot it off to the side. And then you can drag your flowchart. Remember, if you make your bubbles too big, you start to run out of space. You can make this a little bigger, but just so you're aware of that. All right, go have at it.